In July of 2020, I purchased a Cort KX508MS electric guitar for $830 from TomanMusic.com. It's an 8-string multi-scale solid body with 24 frets, active pickups, locking tuners, and a bolt-on neck. I'll start off by saying this guitar is disappointing. Despite its killer looks and fanned frets, I feel extremely neutral about this instrument. It stays in my regular guitar rotation, but I only play it once in a while. I find myself going back to my normal 8-string Schecter instead of reaching for this guitar for a quick jam. I had seen and heard about how multi-scale fan fret guitars are more ergonomic and improve string tension for the extended range, so I wanted to have one for myself. When I found this guitar, I was very excited since it wasn't ridiculously expensive, was made by a reputable company, and came in my favorite colors. I had also never owned a guitar with active pickups, so that would be a new experience. It had to be shipped from overseas, but arrived in perfect condition, or so I thought. Adjusting to the fanned frets was surprisingly easy. Your fingers have to stretch wider on the lower strings, but it's no more difficult than playing a bass. Playing basic chords can be a bit tricky, but as you climb the neck, the fretboard follows the natural rotation of your wrist, which I've heard is good for guitars with carpal tunnel or other pain. The tension on the higher strings should feel more appropriate since the scale length is similar to a standard guitar, but I didn't notice much of an improvement going from a normal 8-string to this multi-scale one. Your mileage may vary. The headstock is gorgeous with a nice Cort logo and great locking tuners that I've had no trouble with. They make string changes a breeze and keep the guitar in tune a bit better. Also, the shape and styling of the headstock is a bit unique, giving a peek at the wood used through the neck. At the nut, despite its angle due to the fanned fretboard, the fretboard wood continues behind the nut, ending squarely with the headstock. This definitely takes away from the guitar's styling and basically seems lazy. I do like the staggered guitar pick fret markers though. On the body, there's 2 active Fishman Fluence pickups that are angled to align with the fretboard and bridge. There are only 2 knobs, one for volume and one for tone, that control both pickups at once. However, they have coil tap functionality, which changes the pickups to single coil when the knob is pulled up. I no longer have those pots installed in this guitar, so I'll talk more about that later. The 3-way bat style switch is basic, so there's not much to say about it. One of the first things I did when I got this guitar was take it to a shop to have a kill switch installed. I got a buried alive signature kill switch from Iron Age Accessories and had a shop install it in the hole where the volume knob was. Then they drilled a new hole between the kill switch and tone knob for the volume knob. Before that installation, I noticed that when playing a bit heavily, I would accidentally roll the volume knob down as it sat a bit too close to the strings and turned very easily, but now that the volume knob is farther away, that issue's gone. I also had both potentiometers replaced in order to use these awesome knobs I also got from Iron Age Accessories, since the previous knobs didn't have splines. However, the new pots do not have coil tap functionality, but I don't care since I've never had the desire for single coil sound. The pickups have been problematic in a couple of ways. Firstly, I'm not sure if I just need to get used to the angled pickups, or if they really are in my way when playing. I can't lower them into the guitar far enough for my guitar pick to not scrape across the bridge pickup when playing the higher strings. There's a bunch of scratches on that pickup now because of it. I keep my string action relatively low, so this is very annoying and I'd rather not raise the action to remedy this. That might be a problem only I've had to deal with though due to my picking technique, so see for yourself. The other issue I have is the neck pickup only working some of the time. I keep my selector on the bridge pickup 24/7 so it doesn't hinder my playing, but I paid for the whole guitar so I want the whole guitar to work. I've taken it to a luthier who resoldered the connections and tested it a bunch, but a week after getting it back, the pickup started working sporadically again. It's at the point where my luthier and I think the pickup just needs to be replaced since it hasn't worked in months now. Next, the nut had an issue where a couple of the strings would get stuck when tuning. The nut slots were not wide enough to accommodate the strings, so it was very difficult to tune the guitar accurately. The D and G strings had it the worst, pinging in and out of tune as I played. The luthier I took the guitar to for the pickup issue also fixed the nut. Lastly, the frets were quite sharp as I could feel their pointy edges as I slid my hand along the neck. I was told that the trip from overseas with the changes in humidity probably shrank the wood around the frets a bit, so I had to get them filed down. That wasn't a very big deal and I don't blame the manufacturer for it, but it's something to keep in mind if you're in the US like me. In the end, the guitar plays alright. If I position my picking hand a bit awkwardly, I can avoid hitting the pickup and strum the guitar without issue. I really want to play this guitar more often, but the little annoyances add up and I ultimately wish I would have gone for a higher end guitar. In fact, I don't feel the purchase was very necessary since the fanned frets and multi-scale length weren't a significant enough improvement to justify buying this kind of guitar. I'll hang on to it and play it here and there, but this guitar feels like it may be an ongoing project. If I get another 8-string, it'll just be a nicer normal scale one, though I may get some locking tuners for my other guitars after experiencing the ones on this Cort guitar. After a year of minimal use, I would not recommend getting this guitar. The best things about it are its looks and the tuners. I understand it's very difficult to get all of the features this guitar has for the price I paid, but sometimes cost and quality do correlate. I give it a 5 out of 10.